joining us at Germantown Community Theatre for this production of Inside GCT. We are so thrilled to kick this off right now for our 45th season here at Germantown Community Theatre, and what a great season it's going to be. Before we move on, I want to let you know that we are very honored and very proud to announce that from our 44th season, we received an unprecedented 20 Ostrander nominations and 4 wins, all within a great season that you had the chance to see Inside GCT kick off in that season itself. So thank you for coming back and joining us this year, and be on the lookout for 20 more outstanding Ostrander nominations this year. Also, we take donations. So, kicking off our 45th season in the adult realm, we are starting with the Neil Simon comedy, The Odd Couple. And we have with us today the Odd Couple themselves and the great director of that show, Mr. Jason Spitzer. And so I'm going to throw it over to them and have them introduce themselves to you.
Oh, hello, I'm Jason Spitzer, the director of The Odd Couple, and just so that no one is confused, none of those Ostranders that GCT won were for shows that I directed.
I'm Stuart Turner. I am one part of The Odd Couple, and that's it. Go ahead.
I'm John Hemphill. I play Oscar Madison, the other part of The Odd Couple.
So that means, Stuart, you play...
I play Felix.
That's
Sorry,
right, Felix.
I should have said that, I guess.
This is a well-known title, correct?
I don't know. What do you think?
I think I've heard of it before.
From what I've heard, yes, yes. How was your approach to the material with it being so well-known? How is it different?
Well, my approach to the material is not different. I think this is perhaps the classic situational comedy. When Neil Simon wrote it in 1965, it laid down a template for all comedies like this that would come after it. You know, I saw the great Shakespearean actor Mark Rylance on Charlie Rose the other day, and he said that Shakespeare understood that the essence of comedy was putting opposites together. And that is essentially what this play is. Neil Simon put opposites together, and the comedy takes off from there. And I don't think you have to do anything to the play. It's still as funny today as it was 40 years ago.
Stuart, your approach to the material?
I mean, Neil Simon gave us the script. I use his words and the situation. I mean, there's something that you really have to do.
John?
I think it's very funny as written. What strikes me is also it's very poignant, you know, and I don't want people to stay away in droves because I'm making it sound dire, but there are scenes where we'll be talking to each other and I realize, well, this is about the relationship, and the humor is coming from the real relationship. And while it is situational, and while it is written by one of our greatest theatrical comic writers, there's a lot of heart in it too.
Well, now that we know that Jason has been watching Charlie Rose and really raising the stakes here.
That's right, I don't watch Inside the Actors.
No, or Inside GCT for that matter.
Never heard it.
Oh. This is not any of your first times on the GCT stage. Share with us some of your experience on this stage. What have you directed? What have you been in? What are you proud to say you're a part of? What are you ashamed to say you were a part of?
Oh, I see. I heard a member of the audience. A member of the audience declared what is to be my magnum opus. What the GCT audience, and especially the board of directors, will always remember me for. And it was a musical called Gory Stories. And it was quite something, I must say. But enough about that. I also have, in the past, directed an Agatha Christie mystery called Black Coffee here. And last season, these two gentlemen and I worked on another Neil Simon comedy, Rumors, which was very well received. Not by the Ostrander judges, but by people at large. And on the GCT stage, I have appeared in a number of shows directed by the inimitable John Roan, whom your audience knows and loves. And I think, what about you, Stuart?
I was in Twilight of the Gods several years ago. I played Kaisel, or who was also Harry Houdini. I was Robert in Boing Boing. Charlie Brown, and You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown. And what else did I do here? Rumors. I did Rumors. And there was something else, wasn't there?
I
I
feel
don't
like
think
there
so.
had to have been
I'll be
something.
playing Charlie in Haint coming up
That's
in
right,
January
that's
as
right.
well.
So twice in one season.
Twice in one season,
How lucky
yes.
we are.
Yes. Oh, Harry and Company. There you go.
I was in Born Yesterday here, and then I was in a play called, it was a 1960s murder mystery called Catch Me If You Can, which it has no relation to the Steven Spielberg movie or the musical, Broadway musical, but it was sort of a dinner theater 1960s Columbo, precursor to Columbo. And Guys and Dolls, they fit Guys and Dolls on this stage several seasons ago, and I was Nathan Detroit, and then I was in Rumors. I guess that's it.
So you clearly have pulled the wool over their eyes for them to come back and work with you again.
Indeed. I have this sort of quality about me that gives people amnesia. So after the experience is over, they somehow forget what it was like, and then the next time I call, they say, sure, and then the ball starts rolling all over again.
Is that true, gentlemen?
I have a, this may be amnesia, but I have a different memory of it. We enjoyed working with him so much, and there was just such a, doing the Neil Simon piece, and there were moments where I said, this is like The Odd Couple. And I went, boy, I wish they would produce Odd Couple here. And Jason says, well, I've been wanting to do The Odd Couple. And somehow the next season, there it was, and there we were in it.
Yeah, that's right. It was serendipitous.
It is. There is such a powerful aura of clairvoyancy in this place to be able to, as
Well,
you...
it's haunted, isn't it?
It most certainly is. It most certainly is. Let me ask you this, Jason. Tell us about the other members of your cast.
Oh, we have a wonderful cast. In addition to these two gentlemen who were in Rumors, we also have a young lady that was in Rumors, Lena Wallace. She's appeared a number of times on this stage. And Brian Everson, who was also in Rumors and appeared a number of times on this stage. And we have Chad Hoy, who was recently in Dirty Rotten Scoundrels.
Which
here
was
at GCT.
nominated for several Ostranders.
was.
And I had nothing to do with it. That is true. You enjoy twisting. I sense that about you. Also in the cast, we have Greg Bowler, who was in All My Sons, the star of All My Sons.
Which
here
in
at
that
GCT.
year received Ostrander nominations.
I'm
yes.
sensing a
Won some.
theme
I
here.
do.
Yes,
And
yes.
won some, that is correct.
Indeed, but it must inspire us all that so many award winners will work for me. They just understand that they put their award ambitions on hold for that period of time, you know? And I really admire them for that. And Greg Bowler's daughter, Ray, his eldest daughter, is also in the play. And a gentleman who actually starred in the play John was in, that he was talking about, the Columbo-type mystery, Catch Me If You Can, Stephen Burke returns to GCT, having been in that here several seasons ago. And so we have a wonderful cast. I'm delighted to work with them. I hope they will forget all about me and will come back and work with me again in the future.
Stuart, tell us something in the rehearsal process, one of your favorite moments from the rehearsal process.
Favorite moments in the rehearsal process, I think, is our scene right before the date happens. There's this wonderful tense moment where he's late getting home. I'm ticked off about it. You know, there's this wonderful dynamic of passive aggressiveness and like, why are you expecting me to call when I'm late and all of these things? And I think it actually totally shows the opposites in their personalities, that scene right there. I think that scene shows it the best, I think. Sorry I can't talk at all today.
I forgive you.
It does not bode well for rehearsal this evening.
John, what is a favorite of yours from the process?
From the process, I think it's working one-on-one with the director and the fellow actor. We have the specific scenes that we have the poker players and the dates that we go out with, but being able to, for the three of us to work together, and Jason saying, okay, give a little, take a little, and making the relationship more real.
Jason, will you tell us about the set for this?
Indeed, as you can see, it's grandiose and almost through. No, it's not nearly completed, but we're in Oscar Madison's New York apartment. It is a big 8-room affair, and when the audience first comes in, it will just be piled to the ceiling with garbage, because Oscar, as we all know, from our knowledge of The Odd Couple, is a big slob. And so, through the course of events in Act 1, he invites his friend, Felix, who is getting a divorce, to come and move in with him. And Felix is the world's biggest neurotic fruitcake. And so from there, Felix begins to clean up Oscar's act, and that is the source of all the friction. And so this scenery that you see behind us will very soon look like a very sleek New York apartment circa the 1960s, something you might imagine from Mad Men. That was some of our inspiration with the designer Andy Saunders and Dan Capera, the technical director. They're doing excellent work. And our props mistress, Betty Dilly, has put together some wonderful period pieces. And we were going through the records the other night, and they're quite amusing. I think the audience will enjoy what they see. Very high production value here at GCT. Award-worthy.
Thank you. In Rumors, there was or a good deal, rather, of physical comedy. Mm-hmm. That seems to be a trap of Neil Simon. Mm-hmm. I assume that you all have built in some physical comedy in this as well?
Well, it is true that the show features some physical comedy and that we have put some in, but largely the comedy is about the situation. And I think that one of the things that keeps this play funny all the time, no matter who does it, is the jokes, the written jokes that Neil Simon has put down. They remain hilarious. I have wanted to do this play a long time. In fact, I was on the GCT play finding committee for a long time, and every year I submitted it, just like I submitted my hopes and dreams to the Ostrander judges. And every year the committee rebuffed me. And so finally I became the chairperson of the committee, and I put it on the season. And then you, Michael, took it off. But now here it is again. And so finally we're all where we were meant to be, I feel. And so I'm delighted, and I'm delighted that these two gentlemen are doing it, because again, when we were doing Rumors, John said, this is a lot like The Odd Couple, and that was the idea that I had, that maybe The Odd Couple's time had finally come here at GCT, because GCT has never done The Odd Couple.
That is
in
correct.
its 45-year history. They've done the female Odd Couple a number of years ago,
correct.
and so I always thought, well, we've done Neil Simon's Fools, and we've done Neil Simon's Rumors, and we've done, other Neil Simon shows, Jake's Women. I mean, who does Jake's Women? Why not The Odd Couple?
Indeed. If I will recall, I did remove this title from the season, and the show that was put in its place received some Ostrander nominations. So it was serendipitous there as well.
Indeed it was.
Indeed.
I would like to ask Stuart and John about the process as an actor. So tell me, how closely related are you as a person to the character you are playing, and or how you have embodied those characteristics?
I do have some OCD tendencies. They tend to come out more at work than they do at home, as my roommate would probably tell you. I might be a bit of a slob, a little more like Oscar at home, but at work things need to be where they're supposed to be. So I kind of use that as I'm doing this, especially when I'm having to clean and spit out lines and do all those kinds of things.
I'm probably a lot like Oscar in that I'm sort of resigned to my to my sloppiness, and just more relaxed and accepting of just as a husky man, which is a line from the play. I don't dress up much, and I might drop something, and that's where it will lie. and my wife is very much has, she takes the, she went out of town recently, and I opened up the refrigerator, and she had sandwiches, and one said Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So she had taken care of me, plus she had organized everything in a way that I couldn't mess it up.
I love that. I love that very much. Are there life lessons to be learned in this show?
Oh, well, I think so. I think it's that everybody's got a little Oscar in them, and everybody's got a little Felix in them, and you can have a positive influence on each other, because at the end of the play, he's less set in his ways, and Felix is more willing to relax.
When I was reading through this show and was actually in a cast as well, one of my favorite parts is the poker playing and the camaraderie around that. Can you talk to us a little about that, those scenes and those characters? And
Well, if it's thrown to me, we've got just exceptional actors, and at the time that they were cast, I went, oh wow, he's got the qualities of this character, and he's got the qualities of this character, and there was one rehearsal where they went in the other room and they sat and they actually just played poker without the lines, so that they could get used to the motor skills of throwing the cards down and playing poker, and so when they added the lines, then it would seem more natural. And they're all great guys, and they all get along really well, and it's a wonderful part of the play. I mean, it's just very, very believable that all these people could be friends. They're all of us are within a few years of the same age, so we all seem like believable friends, as opposed to casting somebody that was 19 as one of the poker players, or so. So I think it's a good dynamic, and it's a good group of guys.
the ladies are very funny too, and
Yes,
their entrance. Tell us a little about those characters and how they play into this plot.
Well, the ladies, I think, are just jovial, nice, want to have a good time, ladies. And
They call those good time
yes,
girls.
they do call them good
Now
time
we're talking about
girls.
the characters.
The characters.
The characters, not the actors.
Not the actresses. Well, I mean, anyway. I mean, they're just a nice fit for this show. And then Felix kind of ruins the entire fun evening that they have. But I don't know.
Oh, I just think Lena Wallace is
I
as
think
good
she's
as
hysterical,
good
yeah.
as this city has, and she's as funny, and she can adapt to drama, and she's just hysterical on stage in whatever role you put her in. But but Ray Bowler has just been a nice compliment. They're playing sisters, and they just both it's the highlight of the play for me, because I laugh, and they just are just spot on in what they're doing, and it's just fun to play opposite them and to watch them.
We should also mention that the sisters are English, so
They are
they're a wrinkle in this New York atmosphere.
Very good. Are you satisfied with your cast?
Well,
Oh, wow.
you know, we always say coulda, shoulda, woulda, but no, I think this is a wonderful cast. It's the cast I wanted. It's the cast I went after. We did not have open auditions for this show. I came to the theater with a group of people in mind, and luckily they said yes. So I couldn't be more pleased. But I thought I was hogging the spotlight a little, and I ought to let these two gentlemen say something.
You know, when you came and asked to not have open auditions, we figured since you can't receive Australian nominations, we may as well let you have something that you asked.
Something. I think that's very kind of you. You bring a tear to my eye.
I certainly try. I do try that. I would like to deviate a little from The Odd Couple and ask you, all of you, as pillars of the Memphis acting and theater community.
He's talking about you two.
I would love to hear from each one of you, what is your favorite role that you have played anywhere? And it doesn't have to be here in GCT. There's just always seems to be something that sticks in with you that you just adored having done. I'd like to hear that. And Jason, I know you've been on stage too, so I'm not discrediting you as an actor. So please share with us as well.
Well, nothing I've won an award for. No, please. I have normally play Englishmen. You know, that's my archetype. If there is a show about British people in this community, I am probably, you know, very close to being in it. But my favorite role that I have played to date, I think, is the role of Niels Bohr, the physicist in Copenhagen, which I did last season at Theatre Memphis. And John's wife, Mary, was in it. She played my wife, Margareta Bohr, and a wonderful actor who I believe was Ostrander nominated for appearing in A Streetcar Named Desire here at GCT. Greg Tchaikovsky was Werner Heisenberg. And so just the dynamic of that play and what it means to me personally and my interest in the material and everything is a great drama. It's probably the best role I will ever play. And so it was a great highlight for me.
It's a difficult question. So for drama, I would say George in Of Mice and Men. That's I've done that role twice, and both times I have an emotional connection with the character. So that would be my drama. My comedy would probably be Robert in Boeing Boeing, just because I had so much fun doing that show, getting the laughs every night and bringing that nutball to life. And then musical, I would say The Baker in Into the Woods.
A few seasons ago, my wife and I put together a production of Much Ado About Nothing. And we got a local theater to produce it, and a lot of our friends came and were in it. And then it got such good press that Theatre Memphis asked could they produce it the next season too. So we got to do 2 years of this play, playing Beatrice and Benedict, and it was just, they were dream roles for us, and we got to play them opposite each other, and we loved being on stage together. And so that was just a great experience and a fun show to do. I love Guys and Dolls, and I've done it like 84 times now. And every time that I do it, I just love it. And that was my first Ostrander. And then
Yeah, I didn't miss it. You didn't
a young director named Jason Spitzer directed me in 1776, which was probably my dream role of all the roles that I played, and it was just a lovely experience, and I enjoyed playing the role.
That's good, thank you. Let's come back to The Odd Couple, because there is a big hairy elephant in the room. and that is, I know
Chase Ring is here.
Yes, he is.
He is indeed, but we usually call him things a little cruder than animal.
Oh, excuse me.
But I know there are several lines in the script about Felix and his hair.
There are.
He shampoos his hair a lot during the play.
I will be having hair tomorrow. It's going to be, it's exciting and different all at the same time. I haven't had hair for about 8 years now, so hopefully I'll remember how to comb it and wash it and style it and things like that. But I am excited to have hair again.
This may finally be my year. It could be an Ostrander for special effects.
It could be.
It could be. Stuart, are you at liberty to tell us a little bit more about your hair? Because I know that it's
I am going to have it glued on my head for about a month.
and who's helping us with that?
Buddy Hart and
Yes.
Caden Britt, and then Jason and Betty are the angels for the hair.
I'll do the shampooing. Buddy operates the salon High Maintenance
Yes, he does.
in Olive Branch, and so we certainly want to give them a shout
Please,
out for
yes.
the wonderful donation they're making to the theater here. Yeah.
Yes. I'm going tomorrow at noon, so we'll see what it looks like tomorrow night.
It's going to be very, very exciting.
It is.
It's probably one of the things of this show that I'm the most excited
Really?
about.
Everybody
that's
at
a
work is
shame.
really prepared to laugh at me Friday. They really are.
I expect to hear all about it. It's
I
fantastic.
will let you know.
I'm using the experience as a trial run for my own hair transplant later this year.
That is so good to know. Well,
Well, I didn't want to leave anything back from your audience. You know, we've discussed everything.
thank you. So, gentlemen, I have decided that this year we are doing some different questions to close out our Inside GCT. And so we have still 10 questions that I'd like to roll through, but they are different from the ones that are used on Inside the Actors Studio.
So all my preparation is for
Is
naught.
for naught. That is correct. So I'd like to begin and have you, these all just help us get to know you so much better, all of these questions.
Oh, good.
So I would like to know first off, as though we are all on a date, what is your favorite color?
Black.
Blue.
Navy blue.
Sometimes you just have to let those lay out there. What is your least favorite color?
Peach.
Magenta.
Orange.
What is your favorite food?
That's hard.
All of it.
Pasta of pretty much any kind.
Some Italian pasta pizza. Something.
So what is your least favorite food?
Indian. I went to India last year. Never want to have Indian again.
Oysters.
I just, Indian just has never, I can eat just about anything. Indian is just never, there's no appeal for me.
See, everyone who sees this will now feel like they know you even better.
Right.
And our intimate audience will be even closer to
I
you.
expect a basket of samosas on opening night.
Fair enough. What was the last book that you read?
The last book I read was called Let Me Tell You Something. It's a new collection of Shirley Jackson material, unpublished stories and essays.
The 5th book in the Game of Thrones series.
Stephen King's 11/22/63.
What was the last movie that you saw?
Florence Foster Jenkins.
Wow, I haven't been to the movies in a while. Civil War, Captain America Civil War, had to be that.
I think it was Star Trek Beyond.
Interesting. If you were a superhero, what would your superhero power be?
Giving people amnesia.
Which we've already established. Mind control.
Time travel.
Ooh.
So you learn so much from these. If someone wrote your biography, what would the title be?
Mine would be called Ready, Set, Go! Exclamation point.
Short, bald, and smiling.
Is this all there is?
Only 2 questions remaining. This one is, if you were arrested, what
God.
would you most likely be charged with?
Murder.
Public intoxication.
What's it called when you steal somebody else's ideas? Plagiarism.
Yeah, right.
The final question that we have for you is, if you won the lottery, what would you do with that money?
I would invest heavily in the Ostrander Award.
Buy an island and move.
I would make sure that every local theater in town had the funds to produce the quality of theater that they wish that they could do.
Nice.
What a hero.
Because the Ostrander people love that.
They're not going to see this tape, are they?
They are the 5 people who watch
I bet they are.
our syndication. Please, let's go down the line. Give us 1 sentence pitch for people to come see this show.
It's the funniest show you'll have seen this year.
Or this
John.
season. This season.
This season. You'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll pee your pants. Use your coasters, or I'll punch you in the throat.
Hysterical.
Yeah.
Just
Hysterical.
hysterical.
It's a great cast. It's a great show. The Odd Couple opens at Germantown Community Theatre on Friday, September the 9th. Get your tickets by calling the box office at 453-7447 or by visiting gctcomeplay.org. Thanks for joining us.